Hello, hello. All right, that part seems to be done. I can see me on Twitch. I can see me on YouTube. And it looks like I can hear footsteps in game, so it looks, or at least I can see the signal moving in OBS, which is all good. Now we'll just wait for a minute or three. See who shows up. Buckle into my seat here, so to speak, and off we go. For those of you that have been asking me in DMs or Discord or just comments, I'm feeling not 100%, but way, way, way better. Much, much, much better. Or, as I would say, much more better earlier. Because, you know, that's right, some good English there, right? Papa Halls, put my phone on to charge. And we should be good to go. Hey, Thorn. Yeah, I figured it was a little bit early for you. I'll hold off on the entire tour of all this stuff that I've done, unless you've got a minute or two I can show you real quick. There's really two things that I wanted to show. Is one, I've actually killed the Ender Dragon. So I've got and I went looking for and found the Elytra. And I also built a blaze farm. And you can see I've got almost 900 blaze rods now. So I can show you that real quick. So, hard to see from right here, but the spawner is up there. So this is in the first nether base that I found. I basically cleared out the entire area around it, glassed it in. There's lava. I think this is 10 by 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 by 10 with a perimeter. Okay. There's lava in each corner just to help force them into the center chute. So you can just barely see it. They spawn up there. They can't go up. They can only go down. So basically, this hole, or 4x4 chute, is under one corner of it is under the spawner. The lava takes the ones that spawn outside of that area and pushes them into the center. Now this whole thing is glass all the way up. I hesitate to go out, but hang on. So that's basically what the entire structure looks like. This is just to wall this off. This dude just has been here the whole time, pissing me off, so we'll get rid of him. And we'll head back inside. So in here, I'm completely surrounded and safe. They drop down here, and basically all you have to do to kill them is just a couple of swings with the sword, because it has sweeping edge. Which means that it'll hit more than one, and just like that, I've gone up 11 levels, and I've gotten 38. Now, of course, that guy wants to kill me now because I killed one of his buddies. But this is the teleporter in. I come directly in here. That's the collection chest. And that's basically it. It's very straightforward. Very simple design. Hey, Garrick, what's going on? So I also found I went exploring, managed to find an end island, got the elytra, and killed a bunch of shulkers. So I managed to build 4 shulker boxes. Easy for me to say, right? Shulker boxes. So in order to build a shulker box, you need 2 shulker shells and a chest. What that does is it gives you this type of a box. The advantage of it is when you break it, the contents stay with it. So all the stuff that was in that box, which is what I'm going to use to build my next thing, is contained in that box. It takes up one inventory slot. Yeah, exactly. Ankle biter. That's a good way to word it. I am on the wrong view. Hopefully you could see everything that was going on in the not full view with my fat head in the way. I've changed the zoom on my face cam. It was here, and I think that shows a little bit better me. So that's a shulker box. Now, when I was exploring the end ship and the end islands, I found 2 ender chests. Ender chests are very cool. If I hit that now with this, it is going to break and it's lost it just reverts to its components. You need Silk Touch in order to break it. But basically what it is the items that are in here are available to me in any ender chest, which means that I can store stuff here in my base for future use. And I have access to them in my backpack by putting down the ender chest, taking out what's in it. So basically I've got, and I've color coded these. So this is a shulker box full of firework rockets. This one is full of cobblestone, and this one is full of food, golden carrots and cooked fish. And I think some of you have seen the elytra before with flying with rockets. One of the other things that I do is one of the mods that's in here is called Sophisticated Backpacks. It's a diamond level backpack, which means it's got a huge amount of storage. And I started applying upgrades. So the alchemy upgrade automatically uses potion, food with effects, or milk buckets. So, for example, if I get attacked by a wither skeleton, I'll automatically take a milk bucket without having to go find it and drink it. It happens automatically. I've got a feeding upgrade, so it'll feed me with food from my backpack inventory. So there is food in here. I've got almost 3 stacks of food that's in here, and this basically gets fed to me automatically. I don't have to carry it in my inventory and eat when I take damage. And then the last one is a advanced refill. It keeps refilling stacks of selected items in my inventory. So these 4 items, as long as there's backup here, will automatically refill into my inventory. So if I'm building with cobblestone, I've got all this inventory. Same thing with arrows. If I'm using the bow, it just keeps feeding me arrows. Rockets, same thing. Torches, same thing. So Basically, what I've also done is this basically locks all of these into these set locations. So I've set those slots. If I take something out and then just shift click it back in, it goes right back into the same spot. So everything goes where it's supposed to go for my inventory management. It really appeals to my ADHD. For the alchemy settings, I don't have anything set. For the feeding settings, again, I don't have anything set but the defaults. For the refill, I've chosen these 4 items. These will refill automatically, and I can choose 8 more things, so 12 in total. So taking advantage of having this backpack, I've got 2 more things that I can apply, but the other ones I don't think I need at this point. And the other thing that I've done is I've actually put the backpack on my back so that it doesn't take up an inventory slot. And I rebound the key. It's default B, which I don't have on my hand pad that this hand uses, so I've set it to X. So that's all I have to do to access my backpack inventory. Yeah, absolutely, Garrick. Now, the last thing is the Elytra. If I throw that on, pop the rocket up into my offhand. It's just about dark, so I'm not going to do this just yet, because now that I've killed the Ender Dragon, those flying spectral assholes have spawned. But in order to fly, I double jump and then just right click. And that fires a rocket, and off you are to the races. So that's basically its rocket propulsion. So this is what the base looks like from the air. And in order to land this bad boy, you just look up, which kills your forward momentum. And then you just turn and come in for a nice soft landing. Yeah, absolutely. And you'll notice that I've still got 64 rockets. I used 2, but there's still 64 rockets in my offhand. If I open the backpack, I've used 2. So this is amazing, like you said, quality of life thing. Rocket Man. And I keep getting these friggin' piglin breaking down my doors. So I think what I'm going to do here, can't remember which side it is. That should show as open for them, I think. Hang on. Maybe it's that. I don't remember. One way you place your door, it looks open, so they won't attack the friggin' thing. But I keep losing doors. The other upgrade that I've made is these are now the elite botany hoppers. So these have all been upgraded with ender pearls. So they produce food way faster. To the point that I only need 1 melon now, and I'm still gaining from my, even when I run the miner, I'm still gaining. And the last upgrade is to the trading hall. It is now full. These guys have all been zombified and cured twice or 3 times. All the major trades are very, very cheap now. This one is still 5 emeralds for the efficiency 5 book, so he needs to be zombified 1 more time. But this is 1. This book is 1. And on down the line. Similar thing on this side. So these are my guys that I will spend with. Some of these guys are guys that I'll spend with, but a lot of them are where I earn my emeralds from. And what's really cool is you can see that the elytra have taken a little bit of durability damage. They do have unbreaking and mending on them. But if I take Rotten Flesh as an example, trade it with this dude and gain some levels. That should be filling or refilling my elytra. Refilling the durability. And just like that, just by doing trading, the durability is fixed. No, exactly. And that's why I keep both on hand. You know, so if I'm going to be in an area for a while, I get rid of the elytra. I just use it for travel, basically. So that's the reason it was tucked up here in my inventory. Now, the other thing is I applied F5. I applied an armor trim to my armor, which is why this thing now has a design. So this is the Dune armor trim with netherite. And it's netherite armor. So it's basically dark and light. And kind of a neat effect. And then the red backpack. Yeah. And if I pop the chest off with the elytra, you can actually see the Batman logo on my chest. And if I pop the helmet off, you can see that this is actually a Batman skin. Armor is pretty much fully upgraded to exactly what I want with it. So protection 4 on all 4 pieces now. Mending, Aqua Affinity, Unbreaking 3. This one has protection 4, mending, and Unbreaking 3. Protection 4, mending, Unbreaking 3. Protection 4, mending, Depth Strider, Feather Falling 4, and Unbreaking. So I can fall from a much higher height now and not take any fall damage. Oh, I know, right? It looks very Dark Knighty. So those are the major upgrades other than killing the Ender Dragon. Oops, wrong button. So there's the dragon egg. When you kill the Ender Dragon on top of the pedestal in the center, this will spawn there. In order to get it, what you basically have to do is set up some temporary blocks, put a piston right behind it with a lever on one of the temporary blocks, flick the lever, it pushes it off the top and into your inventory. So that's been done. And I put a teleporter out here on one of the end islands where that's where I got the elytra. And you can see the bridge that I constructed to get to it. So I haven't gotten all the shulkers from here. But one of the cool things about just being out here on the end island, you got to be very careful around the Enderman. If you make eye contact with them, they will attack you. So I'm just knocking down this chorus plant. That give me 5. That was obviously a much bigger one. Head back home. One of the cool parts about this when you get into after you've been to the end is these end rods. Those are a light source. And they actually kind of look like fluorescent lights. So if you can use them in your builds as fluorescent, basically as fluorescent light sources. So now you can get them off those end cities, or you can craft them with popped chorus fruit and a blaze rod. So we just got 25 chorus fruit. I'm going to run them over here to the smelter and pop them, just like popcorn. Absolutely. So those are now popped chorus fruit. They're back in my storage system. If I go to end rod recipe again, each one of these makes 4. So that little bit of visiting the end there just got me a stack and a half of end rods. So, and actually, Garrick, what? Okay, sounds good, Thorn. Drive safe, and we'll see you when you get back. Garrick, what some people do is they'll make an infinity floor. So they'll actually make black stained glass. They'll put a white material. You know, you're probably going to make this. I'm not even certain if it's 8 or 10 layers deep, but you put a white surface on the bottom. You don't have to do white, but white just makes it look cool. You put a couple of lights in there, and then you start laying in glass, and randomly a couple up until about 3 layers from the top, you put end rods or torches or whatever. And then when you're walking on it, it's this depth effect of lights that are way down below you. And it looks like an infinity floor, basically, off into infinity. So that's something I'm going to do at some point when I decide to make a mega base. Yeah, they're extremely cool. The guy that I was watching do it was Wilds, or Wildez. I'm not certain how to pronounce his name. He plays a lot of hardcore and just makes some absolutely insane builds. So yeah. What we're working on today is a sand duplicator, because in order to get sand right now, I actually have to go to the desert and mine it. Anything that falls, so sand, the 2 types of sand, yellow and red sand, gravel, and concrete powder, can all be gravity duplicated. We're going to do it through the end portal, teleport it basically right out of that machine and into a capture system in the end. As long as the chunk is loaded at this end, I just build an the area where my end portal is actually in under the end island. So I'm in a safe area basically, and I don't have to, you know, so if I make, for example, concrete powder, it's 4 and 4. Now that's the colored version. Is there a base? Thought there was a way to do it without the dye. But anyway, long and short of it is, I only have to make it once. Oops. So if I wanted white concrete, make a batch and then just start duplicating the powder. And then one of my machines will actually add water to it automatically to turn it from concrete powder into concrete. Chemical injection chamber. That's it. So have to make one of those and attach it to a water source, basically. Because we need water vapor. Anyway, that's for another day. I'm building the duplicator today. So for that, basic redstone is the tutorial that I'm watching, or that's the guy with the basic tutorial. Hey, what's going on, Black? Good to see you, man. So this is the guy that I'm watching. That's where I got the material list for what we're about to do here. Salute you right back, sir. So off we go. Now, I don't remember. Yes, I've still got my teleporter here, which is good because this one will load the chunk because it's got the anchor in it. So a couple things I have to do in here is I have to get rid of all of the lava, which is easily done. Lava gone. I'm also going to have to get rid of the frame around here, which is also actually fairly easily done. And I need to clear this area out, at least 6 from the edges here. So we're going to use this in 3x3 mode. I'm just going to do it in precision mode so that I don't fuck up and inadvertently delete something I ought not to. Silverfish are a thing here. All right, so that's most of this stuff done. The rest of it I'm actually going to do with this thing, this bad boy. I'm also going to lay down some torches on the ground just so that we don't lose our light in here. And this will light up the rest. So this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That side's fine. We got 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. The reason I'm using this is it's got freezing, which turns this instantly into packed ice, which prevents me from having to deal with inadvertent floods. Three, 4, 5, 6. That was kind of a waste because, no, it was not. Three, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to go clean out my inventory before we start building this. And actually, I think I actually need that up. So we'll go up one more. I don't know if you heard that or not, but that was the sound of me automatically eating food. Yeah, my inventory is full. I'm just going to finish collecting this stuff up or mining it off the ceiling, and then I'll come back and deal with my inventory problems. Working here. Look, you little fuckers. You know, one thing I can do, which will help with some of this inventory management mess, is Oops, that. Change some of these out. So I'm just basically just getting rid of some of the blocks that I've got on me by default. So I got plenty of mossy. All right, we're gonna have to go back and get rid of the rest. So we want 1 stack of cobblestones. Careful. Okay. Going to charge both of these back up. Now, what I want to do is turn that whole thing into bricks. I'm going to sleep. And what do we got? That's going to take a little while for it to craft all of that. It should do that by default while we're here. Now, this part isn't really, strictly speaking, required, but I'd prefer to have this neat and tidy before I go. Or as I'm building it, I should say. And I'm going to come back and do the edges as singles. The walls are done. That should be the whole floor done. Now it's just the ceiling. The ceiling I'm not as worried about. I just want to get rid of the big flat patches of stone. And I'm out. So we've got some mossy. There. So this is complete. I'm going to, again, go dump my inventory, and then we'll come back and relight this area up. Okay. All right. So we just got to light the area up. I'm just going to grab some extra torches. All right. That at least is much better lit up. Oh no, I missed part. Now I can see what I missed. So the ceiling isn't perfect. Okay, so like I said earlier, I got to get rid of the frame that's around this. So the question is, how do you do it? Because you can't mine it, or you destroy the portal. So we're going to put this down because this is our building ingredients. And we do it by planting these mushrooms and growing them into giants. So we find the center. We go over to, dig a 2 deep hole, put in some dirt, and a mushroom, and we'll come back to that. Center. 1, 2. Wrong spot. So then we bone meal these. And what that did is it actually killed the outside of the frame. And just like that, portal frame is deleted. And we'll put that there for now. Yeah, I know. It's that this kind of stuff interests. I find it fascinating. So now we put a block under each corner. And I think one in the center, if I remember correctly. No, it's one under each one. Damn it. No, that's an observer. I keep getting ahead of myself. And we need an observer. I'm going to start pulling. These are going to the end. These are coming here. These are coming here. That's going to the end. Okay. So we end up with something like this. And again, I've built this once or twice, but it's every single time I watch this guy's video. And now what we're doing is we're blocking up this so we don't inadvertently fall in. And I lost my place. I'm just going to do this way because I suck sometimes at balancing. Okay. Nope. So I'm just going to build a ring around this. That was 2 out. No, I would. I would totally accidentally fall in. You know me. So that's what we've got so far. So these are going to fire at slightly different rates, which is what's going to push the sand, duplicate the sand, and fire it into this portal to move it off. Yeah, we're going to start with sand, but like I said, this can duplicate anything that can fall. All right, so next under here, we put down these tracks underneath these upper pistons. These, as they power, are going to power the pistons above them. And I think we put observers facing into them. Yep. Just have to make sure that those arrows point up. Okay. Hey, Karen, how's it going? Hello. I don't think I've seen you in here. Let's try that in English. In here before. So, how you doing? Hope all is well. And it's been a while since I built one of these, so I'm following a tutorial as I go. I'm watching it on one of my other screens. The link for the tutorial that I'm following, I'm basically building a sand duplicator. So there's actually another portal hiding in there. We've removed the frame, and we're just building up the duper at this point. But it's been a while since I built one, so I'm following a tutorial. If you're watching on YouTube, and you are, the link to the tutorial that I'm following is in the video's description, in my video's description. I'm running a bunch of mods, actually. This is all vanilla. The mods that I'm running, again, the list it should be in the video description, but Actuary is an API, Bomb is an actuary, is an API. Same with Bookshelf. I'm running Botania, Botany Pots Tiers, Botany Trees. So those are ways of farming without, basically you're growing them in pots inside your base. I'm using building gadgets and mining gadgets. I've got a chunk loader. Clumps takes your XP orbs and clumps them together, which just reduces lag. Cooking for Blockheads. So this is a mod pack that I put together myself in CurseForge. So there's 58 mods in total. And again, the mod list is down below, or if in the video's description if you're watching on YouTube. But this, what I'm doing right now, is all vanilla. I think that's how that goes. Yes. Oh, I missed one. There's a note block in there as well. So this should move the bottom pistons. Knew I should have waited. So we'll hang off on the sand for now. Nice. Thanks for dropping in, Karen. Have a great evening. So that is the on-off switch for this entire operation on this side. Oh, nice. This is all in one chunk. So I'm actually going to move... Damn it. I think that can go there. Basically, I'm making sure that this teleporter, which has the anchor in it, is in the same chunk as the farm. And it is. So now when we teleport in, we're basically right beside the switch. Excuse me. All right, now for the rest of it, I think that goes from the other side. These are going to be, basically, these are going to update when the trapdoor, these trapdoors are going to fire, and it's going to update all of this, which is going to trigger the observers. If memory serves. And I think that's this side. That's all of the redstone work done with those in place. Those are going to power the rails, which is going to update the. So the thing underneath is it's going to move up and down, which is going to update these, which is going to fire redstone pulse, which is going to light these up, which is going to activate these, which is going to fire the upper pistons. And then I think we just break And I don't remember the reason for the chains, but they are an integral part of this. Nope. That way. So that stone will be waiting for us on the other side, but this is complete. I think what I'm going to have to do is put glowstone in there to keep that from mob spawning, but I'm not too worried about it. So I haven't lost any sand, but there's sand waiting for me on the other side. So this is duplicated sand. So just that tiny little bit of time running it, you can see we got a block plus 8. What I'm going to do is pin down my location. He can't. God damn it. All right. I got to run to the washroom, so I'm going to teleport back home. Put myself somewhere safe. And run to the washroom. I'll be right back, everybody. Of course, then the little furry friend behind me decided she wanted to go out and go to the bathroom as well, so I had to wait for her to come back. So we'll sleep through this night. So part 1 is complete. The duplication part is done. What we have to do now is build the collection system. And I'm just going to get some more smooth stone. I think the stairs are already in my... Yeah, they are. Okay. So now we go back and jump through. So that is here. Whoops. I'm just going to leave that over on this side where there's the teleporter. Yeah, we'll put it right here. So we're going to build the collection system out that way. We'll have to make this one bigger. And I don't think I have to make this any taller, but I think that's what I end up with. No, just there. So this is, oh, and I forgot to add this earlier. The hell did I put the buttons? Oh, there it is. Death count is now at 6, and I forgot to add that earlier. That's where that red thing is. I died here killing the Ender Dragon. It got me with the, it's the Dragon's Breath while I was trying to get set up to go up one of the pillars. Just in case. It's funny, in the video that I'm watching, he's actually building this out in the void. So we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Welcome back. So it is 8 double chests. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then into the back of that, we place the hoppers. 2. The reason for this amount of storage is because of how much this thing can chuck through. Like I said, dude that's building this in the video that is building this out over the void. And what I'm eventually going to do is I'm just going to AFK down here. And I'll put a teleporter in over here. So basically what we're doing is the items are going to come through here and they fall into this hopper and it goes into this chest. This chest can then drain into this hopper, into that chest, into that hopper, into the bottom chest. And as those bottom chests fill up, then it'll fill back up the stack. And items can move down along here because this is actually going to be a fluid channel. Now we need a sign. This is to prevent water from flowing through, and then we put another water source down here. Now what I'm going to do in the wall here is build a temporary water source. So one water source block there, one there, and one there. So this fills that whole area. And then we put another water source block right there, which flows down to the end. So this is basically just a flowing water channel that's going to feed the items from the sand duplicator in here. And with that done, we don't need the water source any longer. And I'll refill those buckets when we get back to base. Now, like I said, I do need a way to get down in here. So that's going to have to be right here. And I'm going to put the teleporter probably right here once I go build one. Actually, let's do this with smooth stone. And then this is my way back to the chests. This can actually be filled in. Just trying to leave no areas for things to spawn. So the reason for the steps there is it keeps the water in, but still allows us to open the upper chests. And what we're going to do over here is build a an AFK/collection room. Actually, we'll just build a 3x3 room right here. So this is only too tall on purpose, because then we'll dig this back out when we come back in. Because then Enderman can't spawn. I had to leave the one gap right there so that I can get in and out to go check the chests. And I'll eventually fill the rest of this back in because it doesn't need to be accessed once I'm done. And that should be all the light that we need in here. So we need an anchor. And a teleporter. And this one is going to be the sand duper, which would be the last one. And then the end is where we go to turn it on. And before I go turning on everything, so we're back in here. We're going to jump back through one last time. And we'll bring some stuff back with us when we come, just to seal that back off again. So let's give this a test run. I'm going to go home first and grab some building materials. Grab a couple of those. Going to go to the sand duper side. No, I only want one. And I'm just exchanging the ones that I can see. Should be able to do a 3x3 for this. And we're at a smooth stone. All right. That should be enough. And there it's coming in. So we just have to AFK here, and we get sand or concrete or gravel or whatever else now that is droppable. Now, at some point, I can run another set of hoppers off the bottom of these, you know, probably starting at the other end and pointing into right here, and put a quantum entangloporter there and have it automatically go back into my base. But for now, this is fine. And you can see they are flowing. Hey, Dirt, what's going on?
What a dork.
How you doing, brother? So I'm just going to go back to the other side and turn this off. What I just built, Dirt, was a sand duplication machine. Actually, anything. Hey, Terry, anything that you can gravity drop, two different colors of sand, so red and yellow sand, gravel, and concrete powder can all be duplicated with this. Doing good, actually, feeling a lot better. Pretty near 100%. So, getting there. Feeling better and better and better every day, basically. I took the last 3 days off because I was able to sleep finally, and I've been going to bed early, and it's paid off in spades. Still got a little bit of a tickle, but it's not what it was. I can actually sleep now. Well, this was at its worst. I was basically, I had to sleep sitting up. That's the only way I could sleep. If I laid flat, my head would, or my chest would, my nose and sinuses would drain into the back of my throat, and I'd start to choke, basically, and cough. So pretty near back to normal, which is a really good thing. Yeah. So now I'm back to my just usual, you know, tickle in the back of my throat, coughing every once in a while. No, not the choking part. Choking's bad. So, like I said, this is a sand duplication machine. This in the center was, actually, let's do it this way. So this was the end portal. At the start of the video, I showed how to get rid of the frame that's around it, because these pieces of sand have to be where the sand, sorry, where the end portal frame was. So that is the actual end portal. If I jump in there, it's going to take me through to the other side, which is where we set up our collection system, which I'll do here in a second. But basically, what this whole thing does is it triggers these at slightly different rates, so that the sand, it's a glitch, basically. It glitches the sand into duplicating itself without you actually losing the sand, and drives it into the center, which is the portal, teleports it to the other side. And on the flip side, we've got this water collection area flowing here into these hoppers, which is the sand collection system. That's where I was a second ago. So I'm just firing this into the system. So this is where the end portal used to take me. And I just teleported back here so that I could collect this up because it doesn't need to be here. And then if we go back to the sand duper or duplicator, so that water stream is actually right in here or just above these hoppers. I could actually put in another row. Actually, I should. Anything that's only too tall, the Enderman can't spawn down here, which is better. So this doesn't need to be as tall as it is. Except for right here so I can get in and out. The only reason I'm leaving this open is just so that I have a way to go check on the machine. So, basically, the way this chest array works is things will flow into that first hopper, which takes it into this upper chest. If it then flows into the next hopper down, so it empties that chest and fills this chest. If there's room in this hopper and in this chest, it will flow out of here and into the bottom chest. So you basically, this is a 48 chest storage array is basically what it is. So I ran this for a minute or 5. And this is how much sand I got. So let's see if we can organize this a little bit just so we can count. So that is 9, and 9 is 18, 19, 20. Almost 21 stacks of sand in a very short period of time. And if we look right here, I had 898 sand. And now we got 2218. So, very cool way of duplicating the sand. I'm just going to sleep through the night, and I'm going to show you some of the upgrades that I've done around here. So I've killed the end dragon. I did that last night, I think. I fully intended to stream, and I wanted to play, but I didn't feel up to. I knew I wasn't going to be up late, so I killed the end dragon. Died once while I was doing it, and then did some exploration and got the elytra. Around the base. So the big change actually is on me. I'm wearing the backpack on my person now, and I set the key bind to open the backpack as X because it's just easy to get to. And I've put 3 upgrades into the backpack itself. So there's an alchemy upgrade which automatically uses potions, food with effects, and or milk buckets automatically. So that means that, for example, milk is used if you're fighting wither skeletons. If they hit you, you get the wither effect on you, which poisons you over time. If you're fighting a witch and they hit you with a bottle, that poisons you. Milk is the cure. So these milk buckets, I will drink them automatically. I don't have to go looking for them. If they're in my backpack, I will take them or other potions automatically. Next upgrade is a feeding upgrade. So I've got almost 3 stacks, well, 2.5 stacks of food. If I take damage, I will eat that food automatically. If my hunger bar, which is, so if you look at the bottom of my HUD, right here, On the left side, so above where this is, that is my armor and how my armor is doing. So right now I'm at full hearts. That's my health. My armor it's also full because I'm wearing netherite armor. On this side, this is my hunger bar. As I sprint, as I take damage, that actually will deplete. And you have to deplete your hunger bar in order to repair your hearts or your health. So basically, this upgrade will feed me automatically. I don't have to go looking for the food, and will automatically heal, basically. Or as if I've been sprinting and I eat into the hunger, it will feed me automatically. So there's that. You'll also notice that I've got cobble, arrows, rockets, and torches in here because I've got this refill upgrade. So things that I designate, which happens to be those 4 things, as I use something, so I've got 64 cobble on me. If I put one down, you saw it went 63, 64. You watch the cobble here in my inventory. What that's doing is it's taking from here and putting it in here. So I can build shit without having to constantly keep things stocked up. I can fight with a bow now and not have to worry about arrows. Same thing with torches. If I'm mining, which I don't do a whole lot anymore, but if I'm exploring something, I can light the area up and not have to worry about torches. And now that I have an elytra, I can use the firework rockets and not worry about it. So one of the other things that you can do with this is you can actually lock your slots. So all of these are locked. Those things go in those spots. So that means if I take this out, normally when I put it back, it would go to the first free spot. So let's say that the lead is out and the key is out. Normally, and you can see that those are there, but they're ghosted. Normally, if I put the lead back first, it would go into the first empty slot, and then the key would end up over here. Well, my OCD being what it is, this basically keeps my inventory exactly the way I want it. I set it, lock them in place, and they're always there. So now if I've got extra torches and fire them back in, they'll slot into where they're supposed to go. And then I still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 24 slots available for other shit. But these are the things that I'm using on a regular basis. So for example, the exchanging gadget, once I charge it back up, it goes right back into its slot where it belongs. Eventually, I'm going to run out of these food sources, and I will replace them with golden carrots because they're the cheapest to make for the food density that they provide, is basically what it comes down to. So backpack was a major upgrade, and then these are the settings. So the refill settings, I can pick 12 things that will refill into my inventory automatically. I've chosen 4. Feeding, again, you can set certain things to happen at certain times. And alchemy, same thing. I haven't set any of that yet, but that's basically what I've done. Since I have the backpack, I may as well use it. And I threw it on my back because now I've got a keybind to open it, and it's easy. One less inventory thing to use up space. So in order to find the elytra, it's out on one of the end islands, which I'll go show you where it is in a moment. But the long and short of it is, I had to do some exploring. I eventually found an end city with a boat, which is where the elytra was. Now, one of the entities that's in the area is a shulker. From the shulker, when you kill them, you get shulker shells. And from that, you can make these shulker boxes. In order to make them, you need 2 shells and a chest. The cool part about the shulker boxes is they are a storage device. Now, I just grabbed a bunch of random blocks and threw them in here. So those would be available to me for building. They don't get vomited all over the ground. They are actually still inside that chest. So basically, you can take with you that storage worth of stuff in one slot and go somewhere and build something. So they're very cool. I got to go back and kill some more shulkers and get more of these because they are wonderful to have. There are farms you can build that allow you to generate more and more and more. Some people that don't have the storage system that I have, like if you're playing in vanilla, this is how you transport a lot of stuff and store a lot of stuff, because you'll actually, you know, if you've got a chest full of cobble, a double chest is 48 slots, so it's 48 times 64, and that's your max capacity. Well, the shulker is the equivalent of a single chest, so now you've just multiplied. If you pack a shulker with cobblestone and put it in a chest and do that 48 times, it's 48 times 32 is how much cobble you have stored in that spot. So the other thing while I was at the end island that I got were 2 of these ender chests. Ender chests have to be picked up with silk touch, or you destroy them and they go back to their components. But in here, I've got a shulker box full of firework rockets, 1 full of cobblestone, and 1 full of food. In my inventory, I've got the second of them. They're linked. So when I put that out in the world, it's got the same inventory as that one. So if I'm out somewhere in the world and I need more of whatever happens to be in there, I can grab it. But then I need my diamond pickaxe that has silk touch. Pick it back up, throw it back into my backpack, and off I go. So those are some major quality of life improvements that I've made. And then the other big improvement is down at the trading hall. I think you were around while I was working on this. It's now fully stocked with persons. Most of these guys have been turned into zombies and cured 3 times. So basically, like this guy with mending, I can buy the mending book now for 1 emerald instead of 32 and 1 book. So all of the major purchases except for this guy with efficiency 5, this guy still got to turn him again 1 more time. Similarly, all the guys on this side, as an example, this guy is a cleric. So he buys rotten flesh. I can now buy this bottle of enchanting is liquid XP, basically. So if I'm short on XP, I can spend some emeralds and get these bottles of enchanting, or I can get glowstone, or I can sell him rotten flesh for emeralds. Or gold. Either or. I have them both in abundance. With these guys, melons are 1. This guy, I think it's melons and pumpkins. So it's 1 for 1. So he maxes out very, very, very rapidly. This guy, I've got an iron farm, so I can turn iron into emeralds. And I can buy more diamond swords for 1 emerald. So it's this hall has been upgraded, not to where exactly I want it, but it's getting there. And then not quite. The other thing that I built in the nether was I showed you that blaze spawner that was there, or I showed the group the blaze spawner. I actually built a farm around it. It's an auto farm, so I can, from the safety of an enclosure, I can farm blazes and they can't hit me back. And I can farm blaze rods very, very easily. So that is the blaze farm. So basically, I mined this out of the nether fortress. This extends up, and I think you can see it through here. That right there is actually the blaze spawner. This extends up by another 10 blocks above the ceiling that's here. There's a lava source block in each corner, so it's basically 10 by 10 by 10. There's a central chute that's right underneath the blaze spawner. Blazes can't fly up unless they're struck by something. This is the ankle biter. Thanks, Thorn. They fall down. Now, some of them spawn in random spots, but they eventually drift down. The lava will actually push them into the center, and they will end up here. So I'm going to put this sword in my the pickaxe in my offhand because it needs to be healed. From here, so you can see I just went up a whole bunch of levels. This pick is now healed. If I was wearing the elytra and it had taken some durability loss because I was flying, I could fix that. And that gave me 27 blaze rods just like that. So, it's both an XP farm and a blaze rod farm. But it's really, really noisy. Now you'll notice, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I've only got 90 levels of XP. I had 7 on me, and you'll notice it didn't go up to 97. The second number just increased. So the higher your levels, the more levels it takes to go up another level, if that makes sense. So the big thing when you're enchanting stuff is if you've got this mod, is only have enough XP on you to do what you need to do, or it's wasteful of those levels. So if you're about to do something that takes 3 XP levels, only have 3 XP levels on you. So for me, that's a right click. There's 3 XP. I would do what I need to do, which would deplete them. Say the next craft needed 4. I put 4 on me because you can see it's only taking down the second number. Versus putting all 90 levels on me. It will eat through those top levels faster. It's wasteful. So only take the levels that you need. And that applies to even in the real, even if you're playing vanilla and you're not playing modded. If you've got an XP farm, get the XP that you need to do what you need to do, then go get some more XP and blah, 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 because otherwise it's wasteful of levels. If you've got a way to store your XP, or if you have a mob farm and you have bottles of enchanting, only put the levels on you that you actually need. And as far as the end, I'll give you a quick base tour from the elytra. One thing you'll notice that my armor bars, there's now 4 empty ones because I removed the chest. So I'll show you the difference again. So full armor, all silver. Putting the elytra on is the equivalent of removing this entire armor, and I'm down 4 bars. So I'm squishier, but now I can fly. And all you do is you put your rocket in your offhand. You can keep your other hand with whatever you want on it. You double jump, and you see that I sort of floated back down. That means the elytra just engaged. So if I double jump and then right click, it fires the rocket, and off I go. So this is what the base looks like from the air. This is the AFK platform for my slime farm, which is right down in here. And then this is what the base looks like. And you can see, whoop, there is an iron golem that just was in there and got launched, missed, there. He got in the water system, and the water stream pushed him into the center, basically. The hard part about flying when you first do it is you want to look down at stuff, which just makes you accelerate. So you actually have to look close to the horizon or just above the horizon. So there's the trading hall. It's out on the flat outside of the base. It has to be this far away to be far enough away from the trading or from the breeder so that they don't interfere with each other. Now that flying around took some durability away from me. Again, all I would have to do is, there's 2 ways that I can manage that. Is I can go buy a bottle of enchanting, throw it on the ground, and it's instant heal. which is how I'm going to do it. Or I could trade with one of the villagers, so I'm going to grab some carrots. And one of these guys takes carrots. This guy. So you just heard that little tiny tinkle. That was me picking up XP. And the Elytra is fixed. So a couple carrot trades. And filled up. So. Oh. Now can you see right above where I've got my cursor going back and forth across the screen? See how that last one is starting to turn gray around the edges where these ones are showing full? If I sprint, you'll eventually... That chomp sound was me eating. So I just ate one of the cooked salmon and refilled that hunger bar. Now it takes a while. Salmon is actually a pretty dense food source, so it takes a little bit of time for that to eat itself in. But early game, they recommend you don't sprint everywhere. Because it eats into your hunger. So store that extra 3 levels. Don't need that. So those carrots are stored. And you can see I'm down to 55 rockets. This was eventually full. So I've used 9 rockets so far, just fucking around, which, you know, I've got 12 stacks of them in here plus 1 on me. So yeah, I'm not going to worry too much about it. So what I'm going to do is go use the washroom, take a very quick break, and then show you how I got to the end island where I'm at. And because that's normally something I would have shown everybody. But again, I wasn't up to streaming last night, but I wanted to kill the dragon, so I did. So anyway, give me 1 second. I will be right back. All right, we're back. So, so that is the actual place where I teleported into this world originally. I had to tunnel up. And this is the area where you fight the end dragon. So you can see this red beacon. This is where I died at one point. I don't remember if I mined into this. Yeah, I did. So I mined in, and then I was using, what do you call it? Scaffolding to go up. And while I was up at the top, I got stuck. And the dragon's breath does damage to you over time. It's a DOT. You eventually, I died from it, basically. And that is, now that I can get rid of this. So when you kill, and I'm being very careful not to look at any of these guys in the eye so that they don't spawn on me. If I were to jump in here, this would take me back to my spawn point, which is the bed that I've got back at my base. So this is how you get home after you defeat the end dragon. On top of this pillar is where the dragon egg spawns, and in order to get it back, you have to basically put it up some blocks, create a temporary platform, piston and a lever, push it off into yourself, basically. So that's how you get that. Once you've killed the dragon, and this is all stuff from when I did the fight, so this was part of a pillar up to get up. Some of these are easy, like see the ones with the fencing around them? Those are completely, okay, so this is important. All of these towers have something on the top that you have to destroy because they shield the dragon. So each one of these towers has something on it, and you can see the remnants of one there. These ones are actually fully encased, so I tunneled up inside of those just because it was easier. And then I used the bow while the dragon was flying around, shot him when it was doing that, and he eventually comes back into the center. And this is not a telepad at that point. It's, you can actually maneuver in it. So I just maneuvered in here, built a small platform so I was up a little higher, and used the sword or the disassembler to attack him when he was down hovering. So the fight takes 10 minutes-ish. He is a fairly tough, or she is a fairly tough target. But once you've defeated him, or her, I don't know if it's a male or a female, one of these will appear. And if you throw an ender pearl into that, it will teleport you out to the end islands. And the one I teleported out to was this one. So we're going to fly there directly. And then basically, I was around here somewhere. Right here is where I spawned. I ran all the way up here, built a bridge, cobblestone bridge across to this island, built a cobblestone bridge across to here, and that's where I found the end structure. And then this is the end boat where the elytra was. So I got very, very lucky. I was basically just going to do a clockwise orbit around the islands, hoping to see something, and I did. This block right here is a temporary hut that I've built that has got a teleporter in that I can, right here, this end island's one that I can teleport to. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the elytra that I've got. And now that we have that, I can fly around here. Oops. The hard part about doing this is knowing which way you're pointed, up or down, because you have no reference initially. And if you get too low, like I just did there, you'll die. That's the bottom of the world, basically. So this is the way that I tracked. There is another one of those portal thingies. But again, this was all done by running. I didn't actually have to use any, you can also use ender pearls to teleport. But I built that bridge across there. Did some exploring around and eventually worked my way across over here. But again, I'm going to fly across. So that is what's called an end city. And that is the end boat or ship. So there's nothing here except for the teleporter. It's just a safe area. This roof should actually be down one because then Endermen cannot spawn in here. They need 3 blocks in order to spawn. So what I wanted to show you here is the shulkers. And they're fucking bastards. Because they shoot projectiles at you that cause you to float. And if you float too far up and then the effect wears off, you fall and die. Now there is one I can hear them. These guys. There. So got that guy. There's another one over here. And I'm still floating up. So I got that guy. Or another one. Where is he? There he is. Didn't get a shell from that guy. But we've gotten 2 so far. Which means I can make another shulker box when we get back. So in here, and they're deviously designed that in order to go up at some point, they're bastards. Whoops. Basically what I did is I pillared up. Whoops. And the remnants of some of my trying to get around in here is still here. Now, if you go very, very high and you're very, very good and happen to have a water bucket on you, you can do what a lot of guys call a bucket clutch. I suck at it, but basically what you do is just before you hit the ground, you throw the bucket down and you land in water. Which I didn't do. So the timing has to be perfect. Well, we use this to our advantage. We'll go up and over. So I'm just somewhere. He's inside. Oh, there he is. And these guys can't teleport when they're injured. That guy just teleported. So we're going to go inside and see if we can kill the guy that's inside. Ah, fuck. There he is. Hey, he teleported on me. In theory, you can hit these. In theory. God fucking damn it. Fuck me. I'm just getting away from them because I'm taking a lot of damage. So this is where the elytra is. I'll show you that real quick. I can hear another one. In here, in this little cubby portal, right here in a wall frame is where the elytra was. And the layout on these is all the same. So with that, I'm going to get the hell out of here. And I'm going to craft another shulker box. So we've got another one. So we now have 2 in storage plus 3, so I got 5 in total. But what a pain in the ass. So let's go repair all this stuff at the blaze spawner. But shulkers are a fucking pain in the ass. And that bucket clutch I did it once fighting the dragon. He launched me in the air and I successfully did it. That's why I only died once. But I actually watched a guy as a challenge on a hardcore world build a pillar. Like he dug a pit. I don't remember how big it was, but I think it was a chunk. So 16 by 16. Dug a chunk all the way down to bedrock, and then right beside it, pillared to build height, which is 256. Bedrock is at minus 64, so you can do the math in between. It's 300 blocks-ish. And then no armor, just a bucket on him, jumped off the pillar and did a bucket clutch down and lived on a hardcore world. So that takes some serious cojones to do something like that. I wouldn't do that on a, I would do it on a dare on a non-hardcore world, but anyway. as far as what my plans are now is I don't... I hear an Enderman. Let's see if we can find him real quick. I think he's already teleported off. I don't see him on the mini-map. Hostile mobs show up in red on your mini-map. So the green ones that you see over that I'm looking at, and I don't know if you can see what I'm looking at, but on my mini-map in the top left, I am the blue thing that's spinning around. All the green over there are villagers, and there's no hostile mobs around me. Bucket clutch. Okay, so that is... Let's say you're falling off something that's very, very tall. And I probably won't do this successfully. But basically what you try and do is you throw the bucket down just before you hit and you land in the water. And you take no damage. That was unsuccessful. Let's try that again. It's just timing. There. Did it that time. Problem with doing it here in the base is I've got friggin' torches everywhere. And they and water don't mix or don't like each other. So that's a bucket clutch. So basically, what I was doing is because I've got my keypad, my hand on this, that's normal. That's my playing position, like so. Hang on, let me go to the full. So I got to hold that in front of the camera. So that is my home position, if you will, and it's basically it's WASD is the keys. Right there, that is the number 3. So the way I had this set when I was fighting the Ender Dragon, is I had the bucket in slot 3. I've got what else did I have on me? I had my bow. How did I have that set? I had that in slot 4. So basically, I'm, fighting with the bow, blah, 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 blah. I get launched in the air. I hit the number 3. And as I'm falling, I do the bucket clutch, and then I can switch back to the bow. That way I don't have to think about, which way to move the mouse wheel. That's normally how I navigate around this bar. But I always, like if I'm there and I want to go to the bucket, I usually go the wrong direction first. So I decided to put it on a specific number. Absolutely. So, that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would to build that duping machine, and I didn't really have anything else planned for tonight. So I am probably going to go to bed early tonight. But if there's anything else you want to see in this world before I go, let me know. We'll go show you real quick, and then off we go, or off I go. I mean, one thing we could do is go to the end and search for another end city and see if we can get a spare elytra. But that's, again, where this one I've got on breaking and mending on it. It's not really... It absolutely is a Roadrunner move. It absolutely is. The guys that do speed runs, basically, so speed running in this game is they will actually do a lot of searching for the perfect seed or the area that they spawn. There's a way to get to the nether very quickly. And where they spawn into the nether, they're very close to a bastion so that they can go in and do some trading and get what they need from the bastion. Get enough eyes of Ender to find they know where the stronghold is. They can basically they're going to navigate around the world as rapidly as they possibly can, get just enough eyes of Ender to activate the end portal, have gotten enough wool and beds so that when they get there, so the way beds work is in the overworld you sleep. In the nether or the end, if you try and sleep on them, the beds explode and do a lot of it. It will kill you if you're laying on the bed, but they do a tremendous amount of explosive damage. So basically what they will do is with the beds, they will use the beds to kill the dragon. Right at the center pedestal portal thing. They will dig down a couple of blocks so that they are just high enough. Basically the bed would be there. They would click on it, right click on it. The bed would explode up. It goes over your head. It doesn't do any damage to you, but explodes up and damages the dragon. So they have no weapons on them and just a bucket of water to clutch if they get launched, because the dragon can launch you into the air. And they use the beds to kill the dragon. So there's I don't know what the world record is anymore, but it's like 10 minutes or it's sub 10 minutes. Actually, let me look it up real quick. So just on a very quick Google search, I've got 3 here. There's a 650, a 701, and a 53 second. So these are former world records. I don't know if these were done with glitches or how much seed searching they did to do these, but sub 1 minute beat Minecraft. That's friggin' retarded. Glitchless is, and this is in 1.16 plus, is 6 minutes 50.359 seconds. And that was on November the 11th of this year. So there are speedrunners in every game and that's out there, basically. So I will let you guys think about it for just a second. My water bottle is empty, so I'm going to refill that and see if there's anything you guys want to see. And if not, I'm going to call it an evening. But I'll be back shortly. I'm just going to kill my camera. Be right back. All right, I'm back. And forget to plug my head. So I've actually changed how I do things a little bit. I'm not taking my headset on and off anymore, and I've actually got the cable down my back and then fed through one of my belt loops, and I plug in. Basically, it sits on my chair beside me. I just find that that's easier. Just undo the 1/8-inch jack than it is to take the headphones on and off. So, forgot to plug my headphones back in. But yeah, I'm going to do or put some thought into what we want to do for the next stream. And it looks like it's just me and Thorn left anyway. But I'm going to call it an evening. We will catch you all tomorrow night. I'm going to do a bit of Minecraft again tomorrow night. And I think I might actually get the numpties back together for some Division on the weekend, if anyone's interested. I'm getting kind of the itch to play again, but not Division 2. We'll play Division 1. So Thorn, if you want to play on Saturday night, I'd be game for that. And with that, I'm going to sign out. I will catch you guys tomorrow, and we will see you guys on the next stream. Have a great night, everybody. Hey, Dirt. Night. You're around. Perfect. I will hit you up on Discord, and we'll get a time figured out for Saturday night. All right, Thorn. Dirt. Have a great night, everybody, and we will catch you guys tomorrow.